All right. On that self-sacrifice, self-criticism note, I will leave it to you, Monica.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone. I have to say hello also to our guests in the back. They are from MIGMO, the Moscow State Institute for International Relations. 3 students visiting the UN for the first time, and they will be today attending our briefing. So, a group of former presidents of the General Assembly are in town. They are meeting later today for an interactive dialogue at the invitation of the current PGA, María Fernanda Espinosa. The theme for the meeting is Revitalization of the United Nations in favor of a strengthened multilateral rules-based system. This is the first event of this kind. President Espinosa will make a statement, and there will be no predetermined list of speakers. All delegations have been encouraged to participate with short statements. The previous leaders of the General Assembly taking part in the event are their Excellencies Miroslav Lajčák, 72nd session, Peter Thomson, 71st, Mogens Lykketoft, 70th, Vuk Jeremić, 67th, Joseph Deiss, 65th, Eliasson, 60th, and Her Excellency Sheikha Haya Rashed Khalifa, 61st. This informal meeting will take place at 4 p.m. at conference room number 4, and it will be broadcast. The dialogue will be preceded by a luncheon, which is being offered by the PGA to her predecessors. And at 6 p.m., the former PGAs and the current president of the GA will talk to UN correspondents on strengthening multilateralism at the UN in a session moderated by the president of UNCA, Valeria Robeco. World Interfaith Harmony Week has started in accordance with the GA Resolution 65/5 from 2010. The objective is to reaffirm that mutual understanding and interreligious dialogue constitute important dimensions of a culture of peace. The president of the GA believes that the promotion of religious and cultural understanding, harmony, and cooperation is key to foster sustainable peace agenda and to achieve the SDGs. The dialogue among different faiths and religions will also strengthen our collective efforts to promote a culture of peace and non-violence globally. And President Espinosa has issued a tweet today to mark World Cancer Day and raise awareness on the importance of prevention and screenings to combat this global health challenge. Ms. Espinosa said that all people must have access to diagnosis, treatment, and care independently from the agenda, where they live, and what they earn. According to the World Health Organization, 17 people die every minute from cancer in the world. And more details on our website, un.org/pga/73, on our Twitter account, and the videos for today you can access on our YouTube account. This is all from us. Do you have any questions? Yeah, James, go ahead. Welcome back.
Yes, on PGA Reunion Day, I noticed lots of former PGAs are present. I noticed that Sam Kuteza is not present. Was he invited or not invited? Is the reason he is not here linked to the bribery claims made against him in a New York court? Is he persona non grata for this PGA? Why is he not here?
No, not all PGAs were invited. This is the first initiative, so we will probably see how this goes, and if this will become an advisory team, or you're going to see today what is coming out of this initiative by President Espinosa. But there are also PGAs who were former PGAs who were invited and who couldn't come. So not all PGAs were invited.
But why was former PGA Sam Kuteza not invited, and what is the current PGA's view of the bribery allegations against him when he was PGA?
The President of the General Assembly, James, has been very clear that for her, transparency is extremely important, okay? It's zero tolerance for corruption. This is why we come here every day, and we come with the information that sometimes, could be not relevant for everybody, like, for instance, interviews that we make a point to tell as well that she's granting, so that you, correspondents, the media, know that what is going on in her office. Because for her, it's zero tolerance for corruption, and it's full transparency. This is important for her.
Full transparency and zero tolerance. What then? If she has that view, she can obviously make clear transparency and zero tolerance, her view of former PGA Sam Kutesa. What does she think of his actions as outlined in a US court?
The PGA is focused on her presidency right now, so we don't have any comments on...
So you don't have any transparency, and you clearly are not showing zero tolerance on this case.
I will leave the characterization for you to do. What we have to say on this is that the PGA has no comments on procedure or process that is going on, and she's focused on her presidency, and for her, tolerance is zero. It's absolutely zero tolerance for corruption, and it's extremely important to keep transparent, being transparent. That's what we have to say. Okay, go ahead, Masood. I'll come back to you.
Yeah, thank you. On this, I'm going to talk about this expansion of the Security Council, expansion in Security Council. The talks, it seems, are still stalled, and so many PGAs who are now coming here today to speak about these things, they are also privy to all these talks that have been going on forever. So where does it all stand? Does this PGA, Ms. Espinosa, does she have anything to say about this? Will they move forward at all?
Yes. Well, I have to say, first of all, welcome back. We're happy that you're here again. Last week, we have been we reported actually on 2-day events on the enhancement of Security Council reform, I would say, that was held at the GA. Yes, the PGA is involved in these discussions as the PGA, so she's a facilitator, she's a convener. She, as you know, appointed 2 co-facilitators for this process. And today you have a point, Masood, because the PGAs are here, the former PGAs, for this meeting on revitalization of the General Assembly, on revitalization of the UN as a whole, on the importance of multilateralism. And it wouldn't surprise me if delegations touch upon this question of the Security Council reform later today in their interactive dialogue, which we will start actually 3 p.m. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, this New Year's Eve, according to Chinese tradition, is a family reunion. I'm very glad that as Jim said, is a PGA reunion today. And apart from peace and multilateralism, what else? What other topics you are talking about?
The list is actually extensive. So there are challenges and threats to multilateralism is one of the topics. Also, the role of the General Assembly and its president in strengthening multilateralism and a UN that delivers for all people. It's another topic. For instance, how to speed the implementation of the 2030 Agenda, which interests all of us for sustainable development, but also including in the context of the expected high-level political forum summit that you know it's going to happen in September this year. We also have, for instance, challenges related to funding the UN regular budget, peacekeeping as well as development assistance. So there are lots of topics that you will cover all of them and find all of them on our website. Yeah? Thank you.
Thank you, Monica.
You're welcome.
With regard to the PGA commitment to enhancing multilateralism, how come that there is not a single African PGA invited to this gathering today? Whether it's Mr. Kutesa or other African PGA. How can we have multilateralism without the world's largest continent not represented in that? Thank you.
As we said before, not all PGAs were invited, but also PGAs who were invited couldn't come. For instance, a representative of the Middle East had a problem yesterday and it couldn't come, so he excused himself. But again, the president of the General Assembly, as you know, it's a universal figure. Yeah, you can come from a region, of course. Everybody here comes from a region. We were born in a certain part of the world. But when you become president of the General Assembly, you are actually the presidents of 193 member states. We are speaking on behalf of everybody. So I think the presidents, so the former PGAs who are here today, and there are 7 together with our current PGA. There are 8 presidents today. So, but I'm clear for whom I speak on behalf of our president María Fernanda Espinosa. They come with this universal view, and they come also with their contributions from the time they were presidents, from the challenge they had, but also with the benefit of hindsight, because now they can, of course, see from a distance, and we know that it's profitable to everybody.
Follow up, please. With full respect to what you just said, and about the universal view, its universal view originated mostly in Europe, and not fully representing the entire world. As far as I see, that Africa and Latin America, with the exception of the current president, is represented, while Africa is not represented. The position of the PGA follows the guideline in the GA about geographical rotation.
Yes.
So
Sure.
again, there is a miss or shortcoming of the current PGA not to include Africa in this global panel.
No. It's, probably your characterization is not accurate. I mean, Africa was included. Yeah, Africa was included, and we had, of course, as I said, not all of them could make it, but it's a first initiative. I think it's a brilliant idea that the current PGA had to have them all of here. I personally find that very energizing, and then we'll see how this goes, and probably in the second initiative or second event we will have more people. But also I would like to bring to your attention, perhaps I read too quickly, that His Excellency Peter Thomson is here, also Her Excellency Sheikha Haya Rashed Al Khalifa, and they are not from Europe, I understand. Okay, anyone else? No? Okay, I thank you very much, and I see you tomorrow at the same time, or later today, actually. Take care. See you tomorrow.